Head advisor could face prison for collusion with top American enemy, by Rory for RWNofficial.com. The Democratic Party loves to bring up the Russia investigation conducted by the Department of Justice by Robert Mueller. Collusion is their favorite word, it seems, but all along they should have been pointing their fingers at themselves, because it is their party that was colluding after all. Nobody wanted to talk about it, though. Now they are. Reports have indicated the former Secretary of State, John Kerry, has been having secret meetings with the foreign ministers of Iran to help and strategize on how to stop current administration's efforts to scrap the Iran deal. Because it was Kerry who authored the Iran deal under the Obama administration, it is 50 shades of shady. Fox News reported an Iranian foreign ministry spokesman confirmed the meeting after the Boston Globe broke the news, declaring, "We don't see the U.S. just as Mr. Trump. The United States is not just the current ruling administration. Think about what this means. Iran is a terrorist state responsible for the deaths of hundreds of Americans in Iraq, whose leaders hold rallies with thousands who chant, 'You know, to America.'" Kerry was working with a sworn enemy of the United States to try to undermine the foreign policy of the elected president of the United States. "I thought we didn't like Americans who colluded with our enemies." Kerry's meetings with Iran's leaders were not isolated incidents, but part of a formal lobbying campaign that included phone calls with European Union leaders and meetings with the President of Germany and France, in which the Globe reports he discussed the details of sanctions and regional nuclear threats in both French and English. On Twitter, Trump suggested that Kerry might have violated the Logan Act, which says any citizen of the United States who, without authority of the United States, directly or indirectly, commences or carries on any correspondence or intercourse with any foreign government with intent to influence the measures or conduct of any foreign government in relation to any disputes or controversies with the United States, or to defeat the measures of the United States, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 3 years or both. In fact, no one has been prosecuted under the Logan Act in more than 160 years, and most conservative legal scholars consider it unconstitutional. Although what Kerry did was probably not illegal, it was deeply hypocritical. Recall that in 2015, when Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas and 46 other Republicans wrote to Iran's leaders, informing them of the Senate's constitutional role in approving international agreements, Kerry was incensed. "My reaction to the letter was utter disbelief," he said at the time. "To write leaders in the middle of a negotiation is quite stunning, and ignores more than 2 centuries of precedent in the conduct of American foreign policy," Kerry said, adding that he would never have interfered in that way, no matter what the issue and no matter who was president. What a difference 3 years makes. Cotton is a sitting United States Senator. The Senate has a constitutional role in foreign policy. Kerry is a private citizen. He has a constitutional role in nothing. Kerry's defenders compare him to Henry Kissinger and other former secretaries of state who regularly meet with world leaders. Secretary Kerry stays in touch with his former counterparts around the world, just like every previous Secretary of State, a Kerry spokesman said. But Kissinger does not conduct rogue diplomacy. When he meets with foreign leaders, he usually coordinates with the White House, often carrying messages for the president, and then briefs administration officials afterward. Kerry did none of this. This is not the first time Kerry has interfered in U.S. diplomacy as a private citizen. In the 1970s, he flew to Paris and met with the North Vietnamese while they were in the midst of negotiating the Paris Peace Accords with Kissinger. Kerry admitted then that his actions were on the borderline of private individuals negotiating. What he did last month was not on the borderline. Kerry would not have had to resort to rogue diplomacy if he had negotiated a better deal. The agreement he struck could not even muster the support of a simple majority in the Senate, much less two-thirds majority needed to ratify a treaty, as Senator Ben Sasse, Republican of Nebraska, correctly points out. The Obama administration made a bad deal with Iran without support from Congress. American foreign policy makes lasting progress when it is led by the president, approved by Congress, and presented honestly to the American people. Kerry has no one to blame but himself for Trump's decision to withdraw, and he certainly has no business colluding with America's enemies against America's president. It is merely the biggest double standard that exists. While the Obama administration resented Republican lawmakers interfering in the Iran deal, Kerry had no problem interfering when he believed the Iran deal could be scrapped. There cannot be different rules for different administrations. Either you are opposed to something all the time, or for it not flip-flopping one way because it suits your narrative. When President Trump is what President Trump is doing with the Secretary of State regarding the Iran deal is nothing short of amazing. A completely denuclearized Iran is what is best for this country and the world. Just like with North Korea, state sponsors of terrorism cannot be given blanket permission to develop nuclear weapons. The Trump administration understands this and took that power away from Iran. Yeah, secretly meeting. Let's just see if we can see a little bit now. But anyway, we know the deal. When it suits Kerry, he's all for it. When he doesn't suit him, he's against it. So look, they're just trying to hide their slush money. Why all this uproar? It wasn't even a legally binding deal. It wasn't even signed. So what is he doing? Because they were getting all nervous because, again, just like the Paris Climate Accord, the Iran deal, it was a slush fund for all of these deep staters. That's why they were up in arms with this, because their money was, they're not going to get their money, bottom line. Now Iran is in a position where if Germany and France don't pay them, Iran is going to start singing like a canary as to what was really going on. So they're in a heap of trouble, believe you me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.